Welcome, one and all, to iGPFun round 7 here in the Phillip Island circuit. I'm joined today in the booth with Dean. As always, I am Sean Pulsifer. Welcome. This is going to be a cracker today.
Yeah, Sean, g'day. Welcome everybody to, of course, round 7, Phillip Island, my neck of the woods, down here in the Australia. And yeah, of course, welcome you in the booth here for the first time there, Sean. Now, you were alerting to me that you have been a part of this series for a long time.
Yeah, I participated last season, full season. This season, I dropped out in the last round we had here. Just a lot of personal stuff going on at home, moving, that kind of thing. So having time for all the practice and stuff can be a bit challenging. And these guys, this league specifically, requires a lot of concentration, a lot of practice, a lot of effort. These guys are kind of top of their game. So really excited to be calling this race now instead of being a back marker.
And if you can step away from the Miami GP that's happening at the same time that we were talking about in the green room, so to the league admins, don't do it at the same time as the Formula One. But it has to be done. We are here. We're going to enjoy this. The Formula One will have to wait until after this, and we have to see whether or not Jordan McDonald can put this car on pole here for the Kiwi. He's up early in the morning on my neck of the woods as well, too, because it's about 6:30 my time. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon your time. We've got obviously in European time. You're getting into the evening for most of the grid here this evening. Who is your pick, do you think, at the moment? Actually, real quick, this qualifying is about to wrap up. I just want to go over those championship standings as well too, because that qualifying is done. And Antonio Jimenez, man, the Spaniard on top, my friend, with a bit of a commanding lead right now.
Yeah, Tony's definitely the man to beat today. Luca looking to move up in his points standings again, but Ridgway right with him in that race for second place. So it's tough at the top, but Tony's a bit of a monster these last few races.
Yeah, and Robert Ridgway was in the chat as well. To Ridgway Racing, go, let go. Lego? Not the Lego that they were driving the Lego cars around the Miami GP, actually. Did you see that? They had full Lego cars and they had wheels on them or something like that. Apparently, I only just saw a glimpse of that one. But looks like Jordan might be improving at the moment, too, because they're on the last dying stages of the qualifying session. You got purple sectors, and he has secured the deal, I would believe. I don't think there's anybody else at the moment that could
Jordan McDonald
steal that one away.
An absolute ripper of a 122.8. Great lap to take pole if he can make it stick. It looks like we're just about done here, too.
We are just a couple more drivers just parking the cars, and that will be done and dusted for our qualifying here this evening.
Ludovic Rancon in second here. That's a bit surprising. Tony's going to have a little bit of a catch-up to do here. Going to be chased up that first corner by Simon Fessy on row 2. So yeah, should be quite the start to this race.
Well, it is Phillip Island, so you don't want to be running off too far because you're going to end up in the drink because it's an island. So just as Australia's surrounded like an island, you've got another island just south of Melbourne here. Being the
I don't know if I don't know if I'm more scared of going off into the drink here or coming down the hill in Bathurst.
Oh yeah. Wait, see, Aussies, tough conditions in Australia and tough racing as well too. As we do have a grid, my friend, which we'll have to get through pretty quickly because they're going to be lining up at the moment. So let's have a look at our grid for the race here this evening.
Yeah, lining up in first here, Jordan McDonald, a big surprise. Ludovic Rancon in second. Tony Jimenez in third. Simon Fessy here in fourth. Alex DeClaire in fifth. Andy Flint pulling up in sixth. Thomas Reagan in seventh. Denny Cornu, Unity Racing in eighth. Max Invictus up there with Ridgeway Racing setups in ninth, with Mehmet Taski in 10th. Jakub Olszewski pulls up in 11th with Luca Varani, surprise 12th. Second page here, we got Badan Ayan in 13th with Benjamin Barato in 14th. Robert Ridgway out of place in 15th, and Stefano Finazzi in 16th there. Scott Taylor coming in to 17th. 18th, O'Sherry is pulling up in 18th there with Nguyen Nguyen in 19th, and Asian Malpard in 20th from Benelo. That's a mouthful. Koji Ito down there in 21st with Eddie Amos in 22nd, also out of place for Reckless Abandon Racing. John McKenzie in 23rd, and Ben Goyette coming in at 24th. Down through the final leg of the grouping here, we've got Adam Talbot in 25th, Loris Baylor in 26th. 27th, we've got Matthew Gracie. Austin Baldwin filling in for 28th place there. Kenzie Newhoff in 29th. And Allard Vande in 30th place for Formula Velocity.
Excellent. Thank you very much for getting through all that one. The drivers are almost loaded up onto the grid here this evening. Just waiting for a couple more. And then we'll get ready for our long race here this evening here at Albert Park, my friend. Those lights go out. We all know what's going to happen.
Green, green, green.
Green, here we go. Everybody's off the line, nice and clean, all the way to the back, it looks like. Coming up over the hill, we've still got McDonald in first. Now, in this race, particularly in this series, there are safe zones for the first few corners. No overtaking, no passing, no active overtaking at least. But we will be getting underway here right after the hairpin.
Yeah, a couple of little moves actually right there. Simon Fessy moving one on Jimenez already early into the race at the moment there. Jordan McDonald still holds the lead at the moment there. And we do have a few mixed switcheroos already happening, my friend.
Yeah, lots of two-way, three-way action in the back there as we get really down to brass tacks racing now. Everybody getting their foot down. Looks like Luca Verani making up some places here. Oh, no. Luca Verani is looking at Olszewski and Tasky in front there, making a bit of an exchange. So we'll see how this goes. For now, just keeping an eye out on that action in front.
Oh, it's getting a little bit of antsy-bantsy. These drivers are already trying to make some early moves. You can see them lining in the stern here. Remember, we've got 34 laps to go on this one, which will be approximately around an hour's distance, depending on the situation. We still have Jordan in the lead here, as we're going to do a little bit of weaving down the back stretch, actually, into the third sector. Actually started another lap on this one. My apologies, in turn one. I should know. It's Phillip Island. It's my home track.
We're real close out front here. Ludovic Rancon putting the pressure on. Oh, we've got some action in the back there. Is that? Oh, we've got three out now. Baylor, Newhoff, and Vande are out of the race.
Yeah, they've completely dropped from the session, it looks like. I can't even show you anything about a replay or whatever that's happened on that one, so I do apologise. They just completely dropped off the face of the iRacing planet.
Interesting. So obviously some issues down there, but lots of action up front here. Ludovic Rancon holding pace behind McDonald there. Fessy also holding pace. Everything's starting to kind of even out a little bit. Luca Verani putting a lot of pressure on Jakub Olszewski right now.
Yeah, as the Gaggle cars will go up to have a look at that one. Luca Verani, who's started in that P12 position, is currently in that P12 position where he is for the Triple Two machine. No changes really too much at the front, apart from Thomas, you'd have to say, in the number 10, the French driver. He's up 2 places. Trying to look a bit of pressure on Mr. Tony Jimenez, the championship leader, who has dropped a place at the moment in this race. But you know, Tony's like my friend. He fights back later on in the race. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Yeah, Tony's good about being patient. He's one of the best as far as holding position, not making too many mistakes, and then capitalizing when he gets a chance. Here's Andy Flint moving in on Max Invictus, makes the move stick. Can Max get him back coming into the corner? Yes, he can, it looks like. Just enough, maybe? Oh, but... Oh, yeah, we've got major accident in the background here.
Is that Stefano that's going off the track there? Someone it looked like there.
Adam Talisman might have gone with him.
There's going to be contact here for sure. Bang, yes. Oof.
Oh, big one.
That's the physics that you're going to get here in the super formulas, just wheel-to-wheel action can send a car absolutely skyrocketing, and about 3 cars are involved in that one.
Yeah, and these super formula lights at the best of times are you got to be ginger with them. Any kind of wheel contact, anything like that can really mess up your entire race. These aren't bumper cars. These aren't meant to be banged around.
The French duo
Simon Fessy just
going out
lands the
again,
fastest lap.
Yep. Andy Fland! Whoa!
Just held by Andy. Can he get it back on the track now? That's going to be a huge setback for Andy now. Going to have to get back on track and make that recovery happen if he can.
Yeah, that's actually going to bring this play into the play here at the moment, because there's Luca Varani is up a couple of places now because of that. There's Jacob Belaski. There's Tasky as well, a little bit further up there. It looks like at the back there, we got action everywhere. Scott Taylor's battling it out there with Ewan, I think there, Benjamin. And I'm not very good with some of these names. I know you are, my friend, because you've driven with these drivers for some time.
It can be tough sometimes, especially when the grid is so diverse, for sure. But yeah, Scott Taylor making some moves today. Berthaud also holding his own. It looks like Luca Varani is just picking him off, though, slowly, one by one. If he can get Jakub Olszewski here, it'll be a really good one. Luca Varani, really one of the guys to watch out for here, holding third place. Is a bit of a sniper when it comes to scoring points.
They're starting to wheel in the race leader at the moment of Jordan McDonald, as you can see on your pictures. So that French driver's going to go up the inside. Quite, it's going to be sweeping right hand, just goes and goes and goes.
Little contact there on the outside, forces him into the grass. And he takes the plate.
And again.
Oh, no. Jordan is not having a good time.
This time with Fessy as well. So both of the Unity Racing French drivers get right into the Kiwi.
A lot of argy-bargy going on there. McDonald's going to have something to say about that after the race, I think. Ludovic Rancon and Simon Fessy barging their way through into first and second place. Tony Jimenez is now getting ready to strike here.
Yeah, this is when Tony will do that. This one, I think he's a little bit more patient on this one. Tony knows that he's got plenty of time up his sleeve, 30 laps to be correct. And considering the bit of the argy-bargy business that's been happening at the moment with the leaders, he's probably just going to be sitting back here, happy to see enforcing drivers. Jordan's gone in. I think at the moment Jordan's got damage. Either that or he just wants to get that pit stop over and done with, my friend.
Yeah, I would assume damage on that rear right or rear left. It looks like he might have taken a ding there. He could be just having some suspension issues. Really unfortunate for our leader today, McDonald, in the pits. Really, he's not going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, all of a sudden you got Thomas at the background putting some massive pressure there on the championship leader with Alex. It's a bit of a French domination. If you look at the top 5 drivers at the moment, they're all from El Francais and pushing the Spaniard actually back down to P4 and say, oh, well, France 1, 2, and 3, thank you very much. And then Alex is in that 1, 2, P5. 3.
And Deleclerc is not far off striking distance for Tony Jimenez. So, yeah, a lot of French pressure today.
Somebody running wide at the background. I think that's... Yeah, how do you pronounce his name again? Nguyen? There it is.
Nguyen. You got it. Like the Japanese money. Nguyen. All right. You got it.
There's John McKenzie there, the Scottish driver. He's up 5 places currently at the moment. Eddie Amos, and you can't miss the Tron machine. He is up 6 there. He's just got past Stefano. And at the moment, a little bit, Luca is made his way up another place at the moment. So he's up 4. And Tony Jimenez is fighting back at the moment. So he says, all right, thank you very much. He's going to split the French drivers and throw the Spanish flag in the middle.
Yeah, it takes that inside line, and I don't think Reagan was ready for it. Didn't even put up a defense on that one. Beautiful move by Tony on the inside. Let's see if he can get up after the other two. Unity Racing drivers Ludovic Rancon and Simon Fessy out front, a little comfortably with a 1 second lead over Tony Jimenez.
Dennis can be a bit of a menace to these drivers when he gets it done, gets the overtaking for the Unity Racing entrance as well too. He knows he's got his Unity teammates up the front as well too. He'd certainly like to be up there, but he's going to get past the Polish driver of Jacob, which is no slouch. He's trying to get past the Swiss driver of Luca Verani as well too. No slouches, and certainly crucial points too for these drivers in the championship as we're about halfway through the season.
Yeah, absolutely. This grid is just champions up and down. It is extremely competitive in the top 20 anywhere in this league. They've got I ratings that are that are almost alien-like. So, yeah, these Unity Racing guys. If Denny Cornu can manage to make some inroads here, he might find some team support up front if he can get his car up there. But like you said, no small task getting past Verani, Olszewski, Toski. Even Max Invictus has been absolutely amazing lately.
Well, Andy Flint from your neck of the woods, unfortunately, I'd say there's a little bit of a lock-up going in the corner that goes into a semi-spin there. Yep, so Andy will drop back a couple of places, but he is essentially almost plump last. Jordan's still sitting in pit road for some time now, too. In fact, I don't even see him in the car. So I wonder if that is a retirement for the Kiwi. Yeah,
I was going to say it looks like Jordan might have realized that 6.5 minutes of damage wasn't going to get repaired anytime soon. So yeah, could have been just an early end for the Kiwi today.
There is a positive note. You might want to turn the TV on and start watching the Formula One now for the Miami GP. I'd say that's probably the best thing to do would be Jordan. Just cool, calm, and collected. We wouldn't be a happy camper, of course. He did everything right. He put it on pole. He was leading the race for a majority, a few laps under his sleeve, and then all of a sudden, of course, he got in contact with these two drivers at some point. So a bit of argy-bargy. Something for the stewards to look at after the race, no doubt. But each driver will have their own opinions on that one. We're not stewards up here. We're just bringing you the racing action. And so hopefully Jordan can get his head down and realise that there are more rounds, of course, in the season. And one thing you can't take away from the driver from New Zealand is that he was certainly quick today. Whether that he could have won the race is not to be told, unfortunately, for today.
Yeah, blisteringly quick, both in practice and in qualifying, obviously, putting her on pole there. So he's got to be proud of himself for at least getting the car where it needed to be. We can give our opinions on what happened, the argy-bargy there and the push-offs. It's really up to the stewards at the end of the day to hand out any kind of disciplinary action if necessary. But we've got a lot of action still going on in this race. No major gaps forming at the moment. We've got action all the way down from Alan Baldwin, 3/10 off of Mr. Gracie there. All the way up, through the grid. It's close. Ludovic Rancon here at the closest gap to the lead right now. He has been known to make a move on his teammates in the past, has Ludovic, so keep an eye on these guys here. It could get dicey.
It looked like it might have been an overtake there of Alex at the moment, getting past Max, so these two are certainly finding their dancing partners here this evening. They're further back here in 5th and 6th place. Maxis are up 3. Alex is in the same position as started the race. Tony Jimenez got a bit of pressure there on Thomas. So as I said, he's the Spaniard in the French sandwich, or French baguette. That's it, you would say, here in Phillip Island. But he's holding his own. I think this is the thing too for Unity Racing entries up the road there. They're kind of pacing each other. They're not so much fighting each other per se, you'd say this, but they're maintaining that gap of about half a second over Tony. But I think Tony at this point may be having to look in his mirrors too, because he's got pressure absolutely everywhere. But that's the reason why the man's on top of the timesheets when it comes to the championship standings, because he knows how to handle pressure.
Yeah, Jimenez knows what he's doing out there. He's usually calm, cool, collected, and that's really one of the biggest factors as to why he is leading the championship this season. It looks like we're about to see a move here from Thomas Reagan on Tony Jimenez, and that brings a third Frenchman back up into the podium places. But Tony's not going to let this one go. He's trying to come back on the inside down. No, I think he's defeated on that one.
Yeah, he'll fight it back. Look at the car starting to get a little bit loose around the corner. It's high-speed cornering here at Phillip Island. It's generally a fantastic MotoGP track as well, too. They decided to throw some cars around here. In fact, somebody was telling me the other day that it's not initially designed for a MotoGP, but it suits it quite well with the sweeping corners and only just the one main straightaway that you can see on the track map to your right. But you're getting a bit of kitty litter kicked up on that track too, and if you get out wide there and find there's no grip, you might find that you'll be swimming in with the sharks.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of dirt, kitty litter being dragged on track. You can see Tony going through it there. I know iRacing has this little warning system now. It tells you when you're coming up on it, but you never know how bad it's going to be until you get into it. So this track, as far as gravel degradation and marbling go, isn't too bad. But you do have to worry about that sand and that kitty litter being dragged back onto the track.
I didn't know that iRacing. See, this is a good thing. I'm not a driver, my friend. I've got the record for, as we're going to see this nice little battle brewing at the moment there between Maxi and Alex. Super Max versus the super French driver of Alex, going for it tooth for nail. He wants to split up the French domination that we're seeing in this race at the moment, with the top five having 4 of them, but he's applying that pressure early, as well as Thomas is still applying that pressure on the back of Tony Jimenez. It's absolutely fantastic racing. I think we should hopefully see this all the way through. Luca Varani is still trying his best on the back with Den. And Jacob Olowski, don't throw him out of the Modern Racing Prince GP machine. He's putting a bit of pressure on Tasky there for P7 too. Yeah,
Jacob Olowski is always one to watch out for sure. Max Invictus, newer to the league, but he's definitely one to look out for. Always fights, is fearless on his moves when he's passing. Great late breaker. He's got a lot of talent behind the wheel. He is fairly new though, so a lot to learn, but definitely one to keep an eye on. I would even say probably a future champion in this league.
Oh, that's good to see. Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, the sun in the southern hemisphere at the moment gets blinding for the drivers.
Here he goes.
Drivers in VR as well too, if you're electing to drive that one. And here comes Super Max.
Delaclerc's going to try fighting this one back, but I think Max might have the best on him here. And he does take him back on the inside.
He does.
A lot of back and forth here. Amazing racing between Max Invictus and Alex Delaclerc here.
Yeah, and before you know it, you may see the rest of those fields backing up onto the drivers as well, too. You can see that stack of cars behind the big battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th, inside that top 10, actually. And
this is also coming. No good for fuel consumption.
Exactly. So Max has got to get off into the sunset here and try to catch the back of Tony now, who's allowed those 3 drivers up front there. So he's just got to stick with those 3 French drivers up the road, which you can see. Simon Vesey still in the lead there at the moment. A little bit of a gap now forming, almost a second to his fellow teammate. Further down.
Yeah, Max dropping back now a little bit from Tony. 1.7 second gap here. Reagan on the fastest lap of the race now. Looks like he's about ready to move in on Ludovic Rancon, but we'll see if the teammates all play nice together this week.
Yeah, different team. This one's different racing team, of course. The 2, as you mentioned, teammates up the road there. So let's see. But the only difference is, of course, is that they are fellow countrymen. But when it comes to this, it's like, hey, that's out the door there. Doesn't matter if you're French, you're American, Polish, or anything like that.
Today it don't matter. Today you're a racing driver, and whoever's in front of you is the target. Yeah. Yes. No country orders in this race.
Country orders. As I was saying before, yeah, I own just about every track in iRacing. I've never done a single lap once in my life, so it's good to have somebody with driving experience up in the booth here to let us know, myself and everybody tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying the iGPFun League, which you should, because there's some of the best drivers in the world, please give us a like and subscribe. Support this fantastic racing league and a fantastic racing channel, broadcasting net channel. James's channel, he's broadcasting at the same time. I think simultaneously they're doing another league, because that's what we do here at JP Broadcasting Network. We broadcast motor racing at its finest, and if it's 2 or 3 times a day at the same time, so be it, as we're still watching this battle brewing between the Frenchmen.
Yeah, JP he doesn't discriminate his motor racing, although I know he's not a huge F1 fan. But he's willing to cover just about anything they're willing to race, and it's great action, great fun for everybody. So definitely follow us, keep an eye on our channels, and get into some leagues you might not have ever thought about before.
Yeah, James, super a Formula One fan. We didn't get no time to watch Formula One anyway for years, and because he's broadcasting at the same time, but he still thinks that. That Timo Glock deliberately allowed Hamilton to come through to win that one.
But you talking about the Massa mess?
Yeah, exactly. When Massa was going to win the championship that year, and Lewis and Glock went slow on those tires. You talked to James about it. He thinks Glock deliberately did it.
Yeah, a lot of people think Glock deliberately did it, and I've seen interviews with Glock after the fact, and he kind of has this grin on his face, like he knows something you don't. But I mean, that's ancient history now.
Yes, sir. As this is an ancient history, the Battle 2 brewing between Alex and Max is now back through. Alex got in before. Max is going to have to try to defend this. I don't think this is going to be the end of the chapter of tales between these two gladiators here in Phillip Island.
No, almost half the race to go, still early days yet, and neither of these two are known for giving up positions. So Max Invictus holding on for now, but Deleclerc is just chomping at his tailpipe to get back through.
Look at all the kitty litter that's kicked up on the side. It's like a big mud stripe, essentially, that it looks like, even though there's no rain. But you see it all the way down the very sides of that. It's just a visual representation that iRacing are throwing up for spectating. But how is that as a driver when you get into that stuff?
Well, because it is a fairly new mechanic within the last couple of seasons of iRacing, it's interesting to see what kind of an effect it's going to have on your tires as far as wear and tear goes. It's not too bad. I've noticed that the biggest issues are when somebody comes on track late in a race, and there's already tons of marbles built up on some of these corners. That's when it gets extra treacherous. Any kind of marbling or gravel on a turn. A lot of. Yeah, Rancon is just really trying to reel him in here. Saber Reagan trying to move up on. Rancon actually lost a place to Reagan here, as we have a 3-way French fight out front, and it is neck and neck and neck.
He's got to apply the pressure at the moment, and that is... So, Fessie's not pulling away as much as he was, because it's down to about 8 tenths, you can see, around the corners. He had just over his second gap before. That's because Rancon here at the moment is reeling him in. That's the fastest lap he set on the last lap. It's a 20.77. The others are doing 20.21s and 20.9, so he's taking about 2 tenths out of them. But the problem is, one thing to catch, another thing to overtake, and he knows it's very difficult around here in Phillip Island to get that job done. But all he can do is apply pressure. He's starting to drop. Well, Tony's in a little bit of a league of his own. In fact, Tony has dropped Maxi down the road there, because we saw Alex drop off there. So
yeah, 2.5 second gap now down to Max. That's he's having a hard time and a handful with Alex Deleclerc, who looks like he's going to pass him again down the straight. There he goes. Deleclerc on Invictus makes the move stick, but can he hold it coming into this corner?
He wants to get up the road there, doesn't he? But that's the thing. Alex is not. Alex and Max, they're battling itself. It's just it's dropping themselves actually off the number 4th place there of Tony. So I don't know, these these lads, you might want to get into a little bit of a radio communication to say, hey, for a second, let's just kind of work together. Let's just follow each other for a bit. Let's catch back up to Tony, and then it's just all right, let's get the gloves back out and we'll go racing each other again.
Yeah, at this point,
it worked that way, wouldn't you? But if it does,
at this point, one of these drivers is going to have to make a decision to draft and to stay in the draft as long as possible if they're going to conserve these tires. Max looks like he's ready to make another pass here, but it's a bit sketchy. Denny Cornu here also looking to make a pass on Tasky, but not able to get quite close enough here as we spread back out. Yeah, big gap. Alex Delaclaire trying to catch up here with Tony Jimenez for third place.
Whoa.
Oh, what a move.
That's so powerful down that main straightaway. That's where you can get your overtakes. Here, if you get a good exit, which clearly is the situation, as I said, the great southern land, the great southern sunset, that's it, that gets blinding for you in the cockpits of these cars, of course, at certain turns. That's something I wanted to ask you as well, too, because if you do drive in VR, I've been told it's very, very punishing on your visibility if you're in VR.
It definitely can be. I've got an Oculus 3 that I occasionally race with, but I won't do officials or league racing with my VR anymore. I find it way more distracting because it is so immersive. It puts you right there, but the problem is that it also it pulls your eyes into various places that you really don't want them going when you're trying to race. So, in my opinion, it's got some development time to go still, but a lot of fun. VR is a lot of fun, but very big strain on the eyes.
Yeah, each to their own. I guess some drivers swear by it and say that they just love racing it, but it does throw those other elements in the players you mentioned as well too. You got, because if you're tuning in, this is the drivers what they see. Of course, they might have a halo bar in the middle just turned off, but the rest of it is what it is. As you can see, you can't see much out of your mirrors, can you? And you only have your spotter to let you know.
No, but Tasky just watched one of the Frenchmen come through here on the inside. So Denny Cordu making a move on Tasky and making it stick so far.
Looks like John McKenzie has gone off somewhere on the track too for the Scotsman. Now he's running in 20th now. Just a kick, isn't it, on the acceleration, the loud pedal. Went a little too loud out of the corner, goes spins-a-roo, but thankfully not too many drivers down the road for a potential collision.
Yeah, big snap oversteer just kind of got him on the grass there. Here's my man, Scott Taylor, actually designed his livery myself.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we're just mentioning, make sure that we got it all sorted out. And this week, of course, so that we have a look at those fantastic liveries that have been provided to us. And we'll make sure that we get it on screen for you. And Scott Taylor's livery, 5 positions gained there for the Ridgeway Racing, is a fantastic livery. As a lot of these drivers have absolutely super great liveries that you don't see in all racing leagues.
It's, yeah, I mean, these guys, so many of them in the league are, yeah, big walk-up from Scott there. He is actually following Robert Ridgway right now in a very tight battle. Scott is sort of new to the league, upcoming through the league, and unbelievably quick, this guy. Keep an eye on him in the future as well. He's definitely moving his way up.
Teammates, no doubt, as well too, for the Ridgeway Racing setups. So first rule of racing is don't take your teammate out, of course. So let's see how they work paired together a little bit later on. We do have Kicho and Eddie Amos going for it too for Nail as well too. That's the battle back in 13th place. It looks
Koji
like
dropping.
Koji's dropped it, yes. From the Japanese driver.
Oh, he had a big run off into the kitty litter there.
He couldn't make it stop, could he? Yeah, a little too deep. That's a common thing that happens. And I see a lot of cars, they didn't beach it, thankfully, because you can easily beach it out there. I saw that in a league race I was broadcasting earlier last week, actually, and yeah, the cars get beached out there. But thankfully, the Japanese driver kept enough acceleration on that car to keep the momentum going out of the kitty litter back into the race, P17.
Yeah, he won't like the drop in places, but still in the race and still a bit to go. We're at 22 of 34 laps here. And so far, has been a lot of passing action on this track in this race.
We're going to see some more at the moment if Task can get it on Dendown, which he does. But then again, he get that switcheroo back around. It could potentially happen. But he might have got the good acceleration there. So Tasky into 2 positions, gained up there in P8.
Oh, and just heaps of kitty litter on the track around that corner there.
That is something to be looked at. Then Dennis is going to be menacing him for sure for a couple more laps. They're going to be this is one of those battles that we're going to see tooth and nail again between these 2 drivers, because they love these overtaking battles. You can see Robert Ridgway, Scott Taylor as well, and Scott.
Oh, that was a close one.
Yeah,
Taylor putting so much pressure on Ridgway. These are kind of like.
Oh
no!
That's Thomas.
That's Thomas Reagan off. He was fighting for second place. That is going to drop him out of contention and the race completely.
He's lost it on his own in that similar corner that we just saw before. This time around, the kitty litter wasn't there to slow you down. Straight into the back of the fence. That car is done and dusted, and unfortunately for a potential podium right now, Thomas, that's game over. He will not be seeing the checkered flag. Too much damage.
Simon Fessy happy to see the lead switch into his favor now as Ludovic Rancon drops back a second, and it looks like he's coming back now. But yes, this big shakeup at the top of the field now with Simon Fessy now leading this race.
Yeah, just like that, the tyres wear off, don't they? And then you can't commit to the sweeping left-hand corner like you could. And just like that, within a space of a lap or so, we saw 2 drivers making crucial errors. Thankfully for Kushi, there was enough for him to get back onto the track, but as you just saw from the French driver, Thomas, nothing he could do about it. That car was just a passenger at that point, straight into the fence, and unfortunately the race done. But your own worst enemy on that one. At least it wasn't contact of another driver. He'll know about that one. He'll be saying a few curse words probably inside that cockpit in French, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there, drivers having that big snap of oversteer and trying to make a recovery afterward, and depending on the approach speed, sometimes you can do it and sometimes you can't. Koji managing to slow things down in the kitty litter, but Reagan just not able to collect it. And here comes. Oh, no, Max losing a spot out again.
Yep. Same thing, Alex and Max show.
Yeah, Alex Deleclerc and Max are just trading. You got to be wondering if they're looking at each other at every pass and just flipping the bird now at this point. These guys must be annoyed at looking at each other going by.
I wouldn't be flipping the bird just yet until you actually got the pass done and you're going to commit to it for the rest of it. You're going to hold it on because, it's they're doing the overtake, but then, of course, they're being counter-overtaken after that one later on. It's a similar situation we're going to see back here, too, with Tasky and Den, because once again, they're at it, switching between both these drivers. Only big man smile on his face, of course, is the French driver, the number 27, Fessy, because he hasn't had to have that switcheroo opportunities just yet. He's got the breathing space to his teammate down the road, and Tony just sitting there in that P3 position. Wouldn't say comfortably. He's just on the back of him a little bit there, but he knows that he's the leader in the championship standings here, and another podium will secure even more points.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've already seen some argy-bargy up front that has caused some drops in places. So this for Tony, I think, is probably just a game of patience and taking advantage of what happens in front of him. Max Invictus looking like he's going to make another move here. Deleclerc holds on just long enough, but he is wide.
Yeah, that's the thing about the corner, isn't it? It's deceiving. You think you're going to get so much more acceleration pace on it, but then you're scrubbing the speed into it. If you're entering hot, you're going to exit a little colder.
Yeah, and Max getting ready to just jump on any mistake made in front of him. Tony Jimenez is closing down a little bit on Ludovic Rancon as well, but the gap opening up between third and fourth quite significantly now. Somebody needs to get through this traffic and really put their foot down if they're going to catch up to the leaders.
Ooh, and Eddie Amos and Ben. Ben's up 10 places. Eddie's up 9. As they're going to battle for it too for now. Nijin is just behind them too by about half a second. So there's going to be a great squabble just to see if you can get yourself potentially into that top 10. But they are running out of laps of about 10 to go here at the moment. And there he is. There's your third place. There's Nijin as well too. If I got his name, I'm sorry. That's right. You said
Nguyen.
Nguyen. I got it now. Yep.
You got it.
He's watching this
a mouthful
from on board, and it's going to be an interesting situation. It's always difficult.
Nguyen here looking just to pick off the victim of whoever's left of this between Goyette and Amos. But here's the move up on the inside down the straightaway. If he can make it. Long run to that corner.
Yeah, you could sweep.
He's got him on the outside. Can he hold it on the inside in the next corner? Looks like he's got it.
He's got it.
Now he's just got to chase down Eddie Goyette. I'm not going to be happy about that one either.
Yep, and you just saw one of your countrymates just fighting back on this one towards Ben. Canada trying his absolute best to hold on. He's got Adam just further down too, another fellow countryman for yourself there in 17th place.
Yeah, quite a few Canadians in this league. A lot of fun. I don't think too many of us wind up in the top 10 very often, but we sure try. And Ben Goyette really pushing here up on Nguyen and Amos, so this is a big battle for them right now. Tony Jimenez up front. Finally taking that second place from Ludovic Rancon. We missed that on track, but Tony squeezing himself up into second. Can he hold it?
Yeah, just look at this little battle here, but we're going to go back to that battle as well because Tony has got that P2 place. Maybe he's patiently bought himself a little bit extra tyre grip there, been taking it easy on those tyres and knows the time to pounce is now with 8 laps to go. Can he hunt down Fessy for the race lead? Can he hold off Roncon as well too for that podium position there? And remember, Max just at the fastest lap too, but he is down the road there by about 4 seconds. But if Max was to continue at that pace at the moment, which he shaved about a second off these drivers at the moment, then he may come into play in 8 laps time.
Yeah, Max really putting his foot into it now, trying to pull away from Delaclaire while Rancon tries to pull back up to Tony Jimenez, who's dropping back from Simon Fessy just a little bit. So we need to see Max Invictus really get his foot down, and Tony Jimenez try and catch back up to make a play for that first place. This will continue to keep Tony Jimenez in the lead of the championship by a significant margin, even if he only finishes second. But if I know Tony, he'll be chomping for P1.
He'll be foaming at the mouth for some more points. Yeah, of course, he's a race driver at heart. So's this driver, Jacob, as well too. He's really going to be putting some pressure, trying to get some more points. He's already up 5 places from his qualifying position, but he's wanting to pounce on Alex, who's back in the same place of same slot where he started to race in. And Jacob's had to do a lot of fighting to get his way up through this field. They're qualifying some of these drivers they might reflect on later on and realise that if they would have qualified a bit better, they would have got a little bit more points that are for offer here in the championship. But first, we've got to get to Barney first. That's going to be the key. Cleanly.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about going to the stewards later, or have to worry about going to the medical centre when you're out in a wreck.
Yeah, and Olszewski here, like I said at the beginning of the race, he was kind of out of place to begin with. This is normally a guy who's up in the top 5, top 10 easily, and completely dominates in public races. So Jakob, he's got the bit between his teeth, and he is really pushing now on Delaclaire, who's going to have a hard time keeping up with Max Invictus with this much pressure on. Olszewski coming around the outside, down the main straight. It looks like he might catch him going into that first corner if he can manage to maintain the speed. Neck and neck.
Yep, and got to make it stick, of course, but it's not over yet because the counterattack will be an imminent from Alex if he does fight it. And Alex, at the moment, might just have to bide his time there and try to get in on that reverse straight away, of course. Further on behind, it's still a similar situation to these drivers because you've got Luca Tasky, and they're on the back of Den, so that's just all brewing up for potential rewards or disasters for some of these drivers. And just like that,
takes the place over Tasky, who went wide, sliding into the gravel there, manages to get her back on track and back underway, but lost a lot of time behind Verani with that slip up there.
Alex is going to fight back in that one. The French driver's just been in all the wars here this evening. He's having to really had to defend a lot. He's had to attack. Now he's dropped another place back. He's going to be just kind of keep his eyes peeled because that top 10 might slip away very soon because you do have, once again, you've got Den and Luca Verani a little bit further back in the field there. And
if I had to guess, Alex Deleclerc's tires must be just ragged by now. He has been in the wars. He's had pass after pass after pass. And we are getting pretty deep in this race. 4 more laps to go. The tires, I know from experience, these tires in the last few laps are almost knackered completely. You're driving on rags, so lots to keep an eye on here as Olszewski and Deleclerc continue to swap places.
And Deleclerc just got parked back past him again, exactly as you saw. So that's going to be a similar situation behind them. You'd save Luca Verani there, and with Dennis tooth and nail. It's more about now you're coming down to those final couple of laps. You've got to be thinking about putting yourself in a nice position. Would you like to be the chasee, the predator, or the prey on that one? Because you know that fantastic speed you have down the main straightaway to get a good exit. Could you catch him by the time you get to that start-finish line as well, too, if you're happy just to sit back behind the driver? He's going to be in the crucial situation, as Tony Jimenez will have to be thinking about this situation of defending and attacking. Will he apply everything he can because he sends something a little bit late? If he does, he's got to remember that this driver right here will steal potentially that position away. If he makes it too much of a mistake, he'll completely drop out of that top 10, that podium finish. And remember, he's got the most breathing space in the championship with the points lead he has.
Yeah, definitely. The pressure is on everybody else to really kind of rack up those points. Jimenez doing well to defend here against Rankon, and Jakub Olszewski making another move in the background here.
Yeah, they're going to get a move on soon too because it's getting quite dark here in Phillip Island, and these cars do not have any headlights, so soon you're
no, definitely not. Yeah, sun is down, so it's an interesting time of day to be running these cars. We've got some major gaps out there. Max Invictus driving all on his own. We've got Robert Ridgway driving all on his own now. So the backfield has settled quite a bit. Up front, though, Ludovic Rankon is not going to go quietly into the night on this race. Tony Jimenez under major pressure here.
Tony's gone off.
Tony is off. Big snap, gets it back.
I like how you said going quietly into the night. He was going quietly off the track there. Tony had to lose that position. Now he just have to hold on. He's got a 4-second gap at the moment to Maxi. It should be enough, even with Maxi's pace that he had earlier, setting fastest laps after fastest laps. At this point right now, Tony's going to think, okay, I've got one more attack now for P2. I think P1 might not be up for grabs anymore, as long as Fessy does not make any mistakes. And here we go. Tony wants it back.
Yeah, and Tony takes it back. Can he hold it now, though, coming down around these S's? Looks like he's got the place back. Rankon again is going to be stomping his foot for that one. Big chance for him to pull away, unable to make it happen. Tony Jimenez comes back through and looks to be holding it again.
Yeah, I think
Alex Deleclerc making a pass on Olszewski in the back here. It looks like. Oh, they're still fighting.
No, it's Jacob and Alex still at it too for now. We're going to see that. We're still going to see Tasky and Luca Verani further in the background. They're still going to go for it too for now. This one is not signed, sealed, and delivered for any of these drivers just yet. Maybe the only driver, of course, Simon Fessy. He should be okay as long as he's his own worst enemy. As he doesn't make a mistake, he's fine for that race win. I think he's had the pace. He's just got to bring it home at the moment. But if I was Rock On here, I would just tuck up on the gearbox there, put pressure onto Tony, and then try to force him into a mistake. If not, get him on the exit of the final turn, see if he can get it here up. But there's not enough time, is there, to get him across the line? No. There it is there.
No, You've really got to be on a guy's gearbox when you draft out of that corner. You want to take that slingshot out and pass them as close as you can on the corner entry to get them down the straight. Rankon just a little too far back on that attempt. You want to be within about a tenth for that to work. And then it comes down to straight line setup as well. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Luca Verani still trying to hunt down Tasky to make that move.
And Scott Taylor on
Taylor.
Bahan. I can't pronounce his name, sorry.
Badahayan.
Badahayan.
Yeah, Badahayan.
Badahayan. So I'll get it, sorry. So that's that battle. Further back there is a battle for you got the Canadian duos there of Ben and Adam, but it's more about Ewan.
Nian.
Yeah,
leading out front there. If he can hold it on against Ben Goyette. Looks like Ben's going to make a move here, though. Or try to. No, can't get it around the outside. That's going to frustrate Ben a lot. He's got the pace on Nian for sure. Last lap, here we go. Ludwig Rankon still 3/10 behind Tony Jimenez in the lead. Verani still 3/10 behind Tasky. Those are the two closest battles on track right now.
Yep, this is where we're going to be expecting to see a really late push. I wouldn't say any overtaking opportunities just yet. And then again, that's why I sit up here in the box. He's coming for it the outside.
Yeah, Ludovic Rankon just really pushing it on this last lap. He is right on the gearbox of Tony Jimenez.
Yeah, but I'd back off because you know what, he voices something a mistake. I would just lift up a little bit, just chicken foot it, and then wait for the final corner. I would wait for the final corner because you see, Tony's going to go defensive here. Tony's going to have the inside line right now. You can see it there, so you're not going to think that you've got the position as you're blinded coming up the crest. It's going to
and he did go wide up that crest.
And is that traffic up
Rankon gets his foot down. There is traffic on the road. Simon Fessi's up there along with, looks like, who's that, number 15? No, number 19.
But Fessi's going to have this, and I think at the moment Tony will be fine. It's going to be a photo finish actually for P2.
Very close for P2. Jimenez just manages to pull that out by 4 thousandths of a second.
Well, that was close as well, too, between those two. Further back in the field there, Maxi ended up holding off Luca Verani for that P8 position. Tasky got that P7. And then you got
Max dropping down several places in the last couple of laps there before the finish line. Denny Cornu jumping up. Alex Deleclerc still couldn't make that move finish on Jakub Olszewski. Jakub finishing up in fourth there.
And Ben will end up finishing that one. What a bit of a finish there, wasn't it, between it? But the man that done it, of course, was Fessi. He had to get those 3 positions gained too, so it wasn't handed with him. But once he got out in front, that was it. He was untouchable. He kept the pace down. He maintained that lead in the league. And that should be for the drivers. I think we're just waiting for Matthew Gracie, just cruising around for these drivers. It's good to see the checkered flag, I'd say, in any conditions, because we do have quite a few retirements, as you can see in your pictures there.
Some real heartbreaks today. McDonald dropping out of first in contention for a win. Simon Fessi with an absolute clinic in patience manages to squeeze his car up into first place there and hold off Tony Jimenez, who, let's be real, just made it by the skin of his teeth for P2.
Here are our results for our race here this evening. As the driver's going to go fancily crashing it into the fence for a bit of spectatorship. There you go, my friend.
That was a nice spin there. Simon Fessi up in first place. Well-deserved win today. Tony Jimenez continuing to hold on to his championship lead in second place there for this race. Ludovic Rankon more than knocking on the door, just about winning third place in this one, but has to settle for fourth. Alexis Deleclerc in fifth, hard-fought race. Denny Cornu, Mehmet Tasky in seventh. Max Invictus will be happy slash upset with his pace today. mixing it up in the top. Also, Luca Verani down in 9th, Robert Ridgway down in 10th. Baden Ayen manages to bring that Turkish iRacing Formula team home in 11th. Scott Taylor in 12th. Amazing result for Scott. Eddie Amos down in 13th with Reckless Abandon. Nia Nguyen in 14th. That's a privateer. Ben Goyette, Modern Racing Prince, pulls up in 15th. 16th, we got Adam Talsma, followed very closely by Andy Flint. Austin Baldwin in 18th place. Matthew Gracie in 19th. John McKenzie in 20th. And then several retirements and stuff going down from there. We've got Koji Ito, Thomas Reagan, who is right up there in the top 3 all day today. Leonard Sherry, 17 laps down and retired. Benjamin Bataillou is also out of this race with 17 laps, retired. Stefano Pinzani retired early. Jordan McDonald retired early. And Thijan Alpard also retired early to finish this race.
Yeah, it is a bit unfortunate. We said out in the chat there, Jordan McDonald saying love getting wrecked from poor driving standards. That's for your opinion, of course. But that's going to be reviewed, no doubt, later on after this race. Probably as you can see in this race, May the 4th be with you. Young
Yes.
Phillip Island's done and dusted. We will head back over to Europe there for the endurance race, I believe, there of Nuremberg. Then we go to, where the French driver just won the race tonight there in Magny-Cours. Silverstone.
Yeah, it should be a great race down in Magny-Cours. Nürburgring next is it's always, always a fantastic race at the Nürburgring.
Exactly, Silverstone, the birthplace of Formula One at least, and pretty much motor racing around the world there. Bathurst, of course, if you want to tackle the mountain will tackle you. Spa, of course, another fantastic track there, and then on June the 15th with the Formula Giving event here, all at 9:30 p.m. GMT there, live broadcasted here on the JB Broadcaster Network. The Discord link is there, and if you want to find all the information, of course, go to the iGPFun.com website, get all the standings, all the information. If you want to sign up to this league, of course, be a part of it. And our sponsors for the Virtual Racing School there and the CLB Choose Life.
Yeah, I can't stress enough how fun this league is to be a member of, as I was. Now having the privilege to call these guys is fantastic. Also, great to sit with you today, Dean, and call this race, even though we missed our Formula One. I think it's time to go kick up our feet and maybe watch some pros hit the track.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably be watching the Formula One back, even if it's live. We'll go back and rewatch this from where I was catching up. So thank you very much for tuning in, and looking forward to the music is super loud. Thank you very much for that one. I didn't realize that, Jordan. We'll get that sorted out for next week. And that's it from us. And thank you very much, Sean, for your debut here. Is it?
Anytime, Dean. I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Cheers.